Welcome to our Devos. This week we're talking about right choices, better circumstances. And the way to get to better circumstances is by having a mental system set up where you are making the right choices on a regular basis. Now, I'm going to tell you a huge roadblock that we experience when we are trying to do the right things, and it all comes down to one word. And that word is influence. Who is your biggest influence right now? I really want you to think about that. Maybe take a pen and paper out and write this down. Like, who's the person or the group of people that right now are kind of speaking into your life over top of you? And maybe it's your supervisor at your job, or maybe it's somebody in your family that when you're around them, you're spending the majority of your time with them. You're listening to them. You're listening to their counsel. Who is it that's speaking into your life? Well, the truth is, our influences can make or break our circumstances, and they can destroy our ability to make the right choices. So you want to choose the right influence. Choose the right influence. It says in Psalm chapter 1, verse 1 through 2, this is for those of you that were ambitious and start the Psalms, this is where it starts. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits at the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. Now, this is a negative contrast. The negative starts. Those that sit in the way of sinners, that sit at the path of scoffers, that walk in the counsel of the wicked. And the problem is, you are not going to do better in your circumstances than the people that are the most influential in your life. You're not. I don't find it at all surprising that there are things that people like, and the people that I'm closest to in the church, I don't have many friends. It's the staff. The staff are my friends. That's it. They're paid to be my friends. I have to hire friends. Okay, so, between like Pastor Ron, Pastor Jason, Pastor Mike, like these men, when I'm around them, whatever they're doing, it becomes contagious. And I remember I would watch Pastor Mike and Pastor Ron talk about things when they were younger, and I was younger, and I'd watch them, and I go, I wonder if I'll ever be able to do that. Maybe I'll be able to do that. Well, it's odd to see, 20 years later, 20 years of doing this, when you start to see how much your life starts to reflect those of the lives around you, those that influence you the most. For an example, and this is a secular example, but there's a business writer named Jim Rohn, and he says accurately that you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. The 5 people. You're the average. And so some of you that are listening to this right now, you might be like, oh man, you should see my friends, Pastor Sam. They are really, really they're losers. They don't do a lot. They're not motivated. Well, you got to be careful, because their influence is more powerful than you're thinking. You might have those opinions of them, but if your opinions of them are low, my question to you, and this is a sincere question, why are you hanging out with them? Why are you allowing them to give you counsel? As a Christian, if you are hanging out with non-Christian people and expecting them to be moral to you and your moral compass, why are you surprised that you struggle with the morality that the scriptures offer? This is why we have groups. This is why we started Rooted, because we don't believe that the church is an event that happens once a week. We believe the church is an organism that God creates that we are all a part of. I am a part of the church. I am the church. And the people that you are sitting next to in the pews, they are the church. We are the church. And God designs us to be influential one with another and to receive influence from those who are equally pursuing him in faith. And when we have those kinds of people that are succeeding, now I'm going to also throw a caveat, and the Holy Spirit, I feel like just kind of gut checked me on this. There are some Christians that you hang out with, and you shouldn't be hanging out with them neither. I'm going to be honest. You shouldn't be hanging out with them. Because again, they're doing things, maybe they have bad spending habits, maybe they have bad dietary habits, maybe they're abusing substances, and you're like, well, they're Christians, they love the Lord. But remember, we're talking about influence. Who is influencing you? Because the people that you're spending your most time with, they are the ones that are influencing you. So remember, if you want to change your circumstances, if you want to elevate your choices, you have to change your influence. life.